First, I want to welcome you for coming out tonight. We've got a great crowd here, and it's great to be back at Nims Middle School. You know, I've spent a lot of time over here over the years, and I'm very proud of Nims and the accomplishments. I just want to mention something about your principal, Desmond Cole. Desmond and I worked together at Rickards High School. We taught together over there. And he has been a role model for this entire community. And I hope you support me in recognizing what a great job he's doing here at Nims Middle School. And let's give him a big hand. I see several of my administrative team is here tonight, and I'm going to try to introduce some of them, and I'll probably leave some of them out, but I saw the divisional director for teaching and learning curriculum. I saw Michelle Gale here, former principal of Rickards. Great to see Michelle. Thank you for being here. Director of all the curriculum improvement that we're doing, working with Michelle, and he's creating his own division, came to us from DOE. Stu Greenberg is here working with NIMS. Give him a big hand. Two of our assistant superintendents are here, Mr. Scotty Crow and Barbara Wills right there. Let's give them a big hand. Paul Bird is here, assistant superintendent. I mentioned right over here to my right. Paul, show them. There we go. And I know I left some people out. I see a lot of principals and a lot of friends. And again, we brought the whole team here tonight and this afternoon to be here. I want to talk to you a little bit tonight. I'm over here to talk to you about the half penny and how important it is to Nims Middle School. And I wanted to come over here and talk to you tonight. Sometimes you got to look back to where you came from so you know where you're going. And if you look at the history of Nims, I think it's very important. I looked last time that we started the half penny in 2002. I think we said we would spend $1.8 million over at Nims. We turned around, and over the course of that half penny, the period that we had it for 10 years, not only did we spend that first $108 million, we turned around and spent $7 additional million here renovating this campus. So I just wanted to let you know that the school board's commitment to Nims and the superintendent's commitment is real. And as we're moving forward, and when you think about a referendum like this, the projections of this referendum are going to be approximately $350 million is what we're hoping. But there'll also be additional revenue that comes in, we're hoping, as this economy turns around. And one of the issues that's very important in the half penny, it will give us the ability to put technology throughout all of our schools. Coming in here today, I had the opportunity to see one of our bright students on the second row, and I've got a new phone that they've given me to help me improve my technology. And I've got the phone, and I'm working on it, and I've got it somewhere. Oh, it's sitting there, but anyway, I'm looking. I couldn't figure out how to take a picture with it. So you know what I did? I handed it to him. He took it. First time he saw it. He's up doing it. So this is an example of how important technology is to our students. We can't look at it the way we look at technology because we're improving every day. And we're trying to get better, and we are getting better. Your superintendent's getting better with technology. But let me tell you, they're already there. They're ready for this technology. They need it. And when you look around what's going on throughout our nation, we talk a lot about the digital divide and how certain children need so much special attention so they can catch up on some of their academics and so they can make improvement, and that they might not have the type of technology that other children have. But what we found out with technology, it's one of the most important things you can have to close the achievement gap. Because if you give children the technology that they need, they get excited about learning. They want to be on those handheld devices. They want to explore with them. And that helps them to be lifelong learners. Now, sometimes with technology, the biggest fears that we have are from adults. You know, we have some fears. I don't want to get in front of you and show you how I text message or how I send my emails from my phone, but they don't have any problems with this. This is the way they live. So what I'm talking to you tonight about that's very, very important is the importance of us passing this half penny. 10 years ago, when we passed it, we told the community that we would do the following at every school. Nims Middle School, we said approximately we're going to spend $2 million. Okay? We ended up spending $9 million. My message to you is we did what we said we were going to do, and even more. And I ask you to think about one thing tonight as you're sitting there, and you're sitting there thinking about the most important resource that we have in our community, and that's our children. There's not anything you can convince me of tonight that's more important in our community than our children. They're the ones that will be the future principal at Nims Middle School. They'll be the future superintendent. They'll be the future school board members. They're going to create the next great product that turns our country around. So what we're really doing here, we're investing in our future because we're investing in our children. And there's a lot of things out there right now in the world that makes some of us uneasy. You know, these are not easy times as you look around. I have people call me every day that are looking for jobs, that are out there in the community, and the last 4 or 5 years with the economy, it has been tough. But if we think about things and we remember, sometimes during difficult times is an opportunity for real leadership. And sometimes when we go through tough times, when we get through those tough times, we're stronger than we ever were before. And I can tell you that since 2007, in the Leon County school system, with funding from our legislature, we have lost $111 million since 2007. That's the type of funding levels that we've lost here in Leon County. Now, it has been difficult and it has been tough, but I can tell you again here this afternoon at Nims Middle School, our school system would not look the way it does today if we would not have passed this half penny back in 2002. Now, this is not a new tax that we're talking about. This is the continuation of what we have. It's continuing it another 15 years. Almost 30 to 33% of the revenue is actually raised by individuals that visit our community. Individuals, last Saturday I was at the Florida A&M football game. Was anybody there? Anybody? All right, great. You saw me. I was there and had a great time. But I thought about individuals that visit our community during the Florida A&M football game. At the same time, we had a Florida State football game. Everybody that was in here and they were purchasing gas or buying meals, whatever they were doing, dollars were being generated for our half penny. So 33% paid by people that visit our community. So I think that's real important for us to think about as we're moving forward. Now, I've been doing community conversations ever since I was elected 6 years ago. I've served 2 terms for you. So I've been out. I've been here before. I've been in the media center before for a community conversation. I've been throughout this community. I was at Woodville the other night. But let me tell you what I'm feeling that I haven't felt before. I'd show up, there might be 30 people there, there might be 20, there might be 5, whoever's there, I'm just glad to be there. Happy to be there, to represent you and to represent the school system. But the last 4 weeks that's been going on, it's been like it is here at Nims tonight. They've been packed. We've had parents coming out at every one of these community conversations related to our half penny. And every one of them has had a common theme that is shared throughout our community. And each one of the ones parents have come up to me and asked, what can I do to help? What can I do to help with this initiative? And I want to tell you tonight, this afternoon, as we go into the evening, what each one of you can do. If you believe in Nims Middle School, if you believe in our school system, if you believe in this half penny, what can you individually do to help? I want you to think about how many people we have in this room that go to church on Sunday. A lot. I have a lot that are in churches. I want to think about how many of you belong to civic groups or different clubs, different sororities or fraternities, different groups that you're involved in. If each individual in this room would come join me on this journey and walk out of here this evening, we've got 3 weeks to go to November 6th. And I'm used to running campaigns, and I can tell you, as you get in the last 3 weeks, you start getting a little bit tired, you start getting a little bit worn out. But where I get my energy is from individuals like you that are in this room tonight. If you'll follow me on this and go out and think about every group that you come in contact with, every neighbor that you have in your neighborhood, every friend that you have, and you'll just talk to them and ask them to please invest in the future of our school system. Please help us with that half penny. And we add all those people up this afternoon that are in here, every one of you, how many you can touch. I bet when you add these numbers up, each one of you is going to have close to 100 people that you come in contact with. This room alone can affect thousands of people here in our community. So you're very important to this initiative. This is where it happens right here. The two most important groups, if you look at polling data, that people listen to. It's not the superintendent, I wished it was. It's not me. Teachers are number one. People want to listen to teachers. A teacher stands up here and says, hey, we need to do this, we need to invest in technology. People listen to them. You know the second one? Parents. Parents of children that are in school. Because they've got an emotional stake in what goes on in that school. So I'm appealing to the two groups, and that includes grandparents too, if you're a grandparent of a child. Teachers and parents, if you will just take a little bit of homework from here tonight and just agree to go out and talk to, if you believe in it, if you believe in it and you're supportive, is to go out and talk to those groups that you come in contact with and to let them know how important it is. And the dollars that were spent at Nims Middle School over the past 10 years, the fact that there was almost $9 million spent in 10 years to help Nims to have a better facility, to have better technology. If you'll do that, we're on the right road for success. Now we talk about why we're doing this. Look at our school system. In Leon County, we've been an A district for almost 9 years, okay? A district, highest you can be ranked. This year, DOE changed the point total. There are too many A districts, too many A schools. So we actually improved more this year than we did the year before, but they ranked us a B. Then they turned around and said, because you've done such a great job, we're going to make you a high-performing district, one of the highest-performing districts, rated as high-performing. So we're one of the highest-performing districts in the entire state of Florida. I told a group last night, that's almost like recognizing you and saying, we're going to give you a pay raise, but we're not going to give you the money. I felt a little bit like that from DOE, but they have recognized us as a high-performing district. So I'm very, very proud of that. One of the things that I feel like is very important, and we've been able to protect, are teachers' jobs in the classrooms. If you look around throughout this state, I can think of one county right now that eliminated 1,000 teaching positions in order to handle their budget reductions. Leon County, we did not do that. We were not going to do that. The most powerful individuals we have are the teachers in the classroom. We have the best teachers in the state of Florida right here in Leon County. You can walk through these halls during the day and you'll see great teachers in action, and we refuse to do that. Another thing I'm very proud of, elementary schools that touch our district, counties around us, one of the ways they dealt with their budget reductions, and they were real, they eliminated art, music, and PE in elementary. I refuse to do that. I'm a big proponent of the fine arts. Earl Lee and I have talked about what he's doing now for years. And now he's here with the leadership of Mr. Cole. You think when we bring those kids in here, talk about listening to me, we just ought to let them sing 4 or 5 songs. That'd be a better evening. I mean, they were great. But this gives children something to look forward to be a part of. I would want to be in that group. And I would encourage all of our children. That's going to keep children in school, is having the music and the art and the additional classes. So I really believe in that. And I think it's the strength of our system. And I just compliment Principal Cole for his leadership with this, and Earl Lee. And music, if you look at how kids perform, not only in their music, but what they're doing in the classroom. These kids score at a higher level, believe it or not. I mean, research shows you that because they're involved. So again, I wanted to tell you that even in the midst of $111 million of budget reductions, I'm proud of some of the decisions that we've made. And I'm proud of Nims Middle School. If you look at what's going on here and the improvements that have been made here, I'm proud of it. And I think we're heading in the right direction. I think we have great teachers here. We have outstanding students. And we're going to continue to improve here. Back to the half penny. I'm just a few more, and then I'm going to allow questions from anybody here. It's kind of tough because I want to walk with this microphone, and I can't. But as we move forward on this referendum, there's a couple things I want to remind you of. Number one, has anybody picked up an absentee ballot yet? You got one. You and I, we've got one. We've got a few back in the back. It's fine. On the absentee ballot, and on the ballot you'll see, and I know everybody here is going to show up and vote, right? Great. Show up and vote. We need everybody to vote. The half penny is last on the ballot. It's after the referendums. And however you're going to vote on anything on the ballot is certainly your business, however you do it. But please do not forget to get to the back of that ballot and cast your vote on the half penny. Don't forget it. I talked to 6 people the other day that were friends of mine. I said, I know we can count on these 6 votes. 3 of them voted for it. I said, thank you. 2 tried to convince me that it was not on the ballot. So in other words, they never found it. And 1 told me, not only was it not on the ballot, but that they voted against all 13 amendments. I said, I don't think there's but 12 amendments. I think you just voted against our half penny. So as I mention this, I just want you to be aware of that, to find it on the ballot if you're supportive. Now, if you're not, no, I'm not going to say that. But if you're supportive, please find it on the ballot. Maybe even consider going to it first. Because I told recently, I was with the editorial board, and they were interviewing me about the election. And I told them the last item on the ballot is the most important item that we'll vote on this year as far as the future of our community and the future of our school system. The last item on the ballot is the half penny. Now, it's last, so let's make sure we find it. And they asked me, they said, well, aren't you on the ballot? I said, yes, I'm on the ballot. But the most important item on the ballot is the last item. It's the half penny. So I just wanted to say that to everybody here, hoping that you would find it. You know, recently, we've watched a lot go on at the legislature. And I know that you follow pretty closely because I work for you. I represent you as to what I've done leadership-wise with the legislature. I wanted to let you know that there's a couple of things that are giving me some real concerns as I watch us move toward Common Core and the changing in the standards. And I wanted to let you know that I'm the only superintendent in the state of Florida that not only wrote a piece for the Tallahassee Democrat, but it was published in other newspapers throughout the state, that it's time that we move away from the FCAT and find another assessment to work forward for our children. Thank you. It's time that we recognize that we just can't give one test, one day, 1 hour, and base everything that child's had during the year on their academic success. It's not right, it's wrong. And I'm going to continue to voice these concerns and to carry this fight to the legislature because I believe that we should have the highest standards in the nation in Florida. But once we set those standards, we need to get out of the way and let the teachers teach them and get us over the bar. "18 times, I believe, and I might be off one or two, the state board has changed proficiency levels. 18 times they've changed it. And who has to adjust to that? The teachers in the classroom. 18 times they've come back. I was at a state board meeting when the state board said, we have to change levels because there's too many A schools. I said, I thought that was the name of the game for everybody to get an A. What if we did that with children in the classroom? All of a sudden we started saying, well, you know what? 80% of our kids have A's, so guess what? We're going to take the bottom 20 and move them to B's, and parents, you just better accept it. Y'all would think I was crazy. And that's the type of events that are occurring that I'm going to continue to stand up for. Because we all know there's way more to education than just an FCAT test. And teachers that evaluate children all year certainly know how those students have performed. And if a child's earned an A or a B all year long, he should be able to keep that grade. And we should give them trying tests that prove what they've learned. So I'm going to continue to head down that path. I wanted to mention that tonight. Also, one of the items that's come up before the legislature as we move forward, if you remember, I was the last superintendent that was with our former governor, Charlie Crist, when I got him, and he asked me to come and meet with him before he vetoed Senate Bill 6. I was the one that met with him. The legislature came back and passed another change to it and have changed the accountability measures. I want to assure you that we want teachers in the classroom that are the best. And if somebody doesn't have the ability to teach, they don't need to be in the classroom. But I'm going to tell you, in Leon County, again, we have the best teachers in the state. And I'm proud of them. And don't let anybody try to tell you that we don't have good teachers, because we have good teachers and we need to support them. And while I believe in accountability for our teachers, for me, for everybody, I also think we should spend just as much time talking about the successes that they have in the classroom and how good the 99% of teachers are doing versus talking about the 1% and wanting everybody to believe that all teachers are like that 1% when they're not. But I believe very strongly in that. Again, as you move out, I'm getting ready to open up again for questions, but I would ask you tonight, please go out in the community if you believe in the half penny. Please go out and try to sell it in the community. One of the most important things you can do is put a sign in front of your yard, if you believe it, because your neighbors will see that. They'll drive down the street and say, wow, Cheryl Collier Brown, she's got a sign in front of her house. She believes in the halfpenny. Did you hear Principal Cole? He's got 2 signs in front of his house. He's a double believer. So if you believe in it, we might even find a way that we can put a sign in your hand tonight. Probably have to do it across the street, but we can put one in your hand before you leave tonight. And if you want 2 in your yard, we might even let you do that too. So think about that as you leave. But again, it's been an honor to serve as your superintendent. It's an honor for me to be here tonight. And just as we open up for questions, if you teach here at Nims Middle School or you work here at Nims Middle School, if you're part of Mr. Cole's team, please raise your hand. Wow. Thank you for what you do. Part of the team. Teachers, support staff, as we open for questions, because I promise not to keep people here a long time. I've closed all my community conversations before the Q&A, questions and answers, with a little story that I had that doesn't take a long time. But the other night, you go through, and teachers, I've been there in the classroom. I taught, and I know what it's like. And some weeks are better than others. You agree with that, right? Some weeks are a whole lot better than others. And some weeks, you're always tired, but sometimes you're a little bit more worn out. And I had one of those weeks, and I was going home, and I walked into Publix. And it's not a good place for me to go, to be honest with you. On the way home, I stopped and went into the grocery store, and a lot of people talking, coming up, and I was getting a few things, and I was tired, and I'd had a rough week. And as I got ready to leave, I had an individual, they came up to me, and they said, are you Jackie Pons? And I thought for a second, and I said, I better tell the truth. I better tell the truth. I said, yes, I'm Jackie Pons. And he said, I want to tell you something. He said, I've watched you over the last 6 years. I've watched what you've done, and I know you lost a lot of money, and I know that it's been tough. And he said, I just want to thank you for your leadership during these tough times. And I want to tell you, all the tired feelings that I had, the discouragement I had, was lifted right off my shoulder for a few minutes and for the rest of the evening. So whenever I go into school, it made me think about, I just want to tell every teacher here, every support staff member here, every principal here, I know the last 4 years have been tough for you too. I know about all the changes that we've done in standards. I know we've changed the way you have to teach. There's more accountability. I know we've only given one real pay raise in 5 years, even though we've kept teachers in the classroom. And I just want to tell you, thank you for what you've done during these difficult times for these children, because you've made a difference in the future of this community, and you've helped me to get through this difficult times because of your leadership in the classroom. Thank you, teachers, support staff. God bless you. Thank you for what you're doing, not only for Nims Middle School, but for schools throughout this district. Thank you so much. Mr. Cole, I'm going to open up for some questions. If you have any questions at all, I'm going to, yes, right here, I saw a hand. No, you didn't. You got to be careful now. When I taught, if you put your hand up, I called upon you. You must be elementary. In elementary, they make you clap 3 times, and then secondary, you raise your hand, up, you're in. Questions that we might have. Golly. This is good. I must have covered it all. Any questions about anything? Now, I'm not sure that I've got enough signs tonight. That's what I'm worried about, because I'm looking out here, and I'm thinking I might not have enough halfpenny signs to give everybody one, and calculating some of y'all might want 2 or 3, but hopefully I'll have them. I'm just kidding. Again, thank you for having me. I'm going to be around for a while afterwards. If there's something, I know I talked to a parent coming in tonight individually. I appreciate that. If there's something that you want to talk to me about individually, I'll be around. I'll hang around a while. And again, I'm putting you on my team tonight. I'm signing you up tonight for the Halfpenny team. And I'm putting your name right there. And I'm going to underline it. Say you're going with us. And again, if something goes on in our school system and you're feeling like you need somebody to talk to, I always encourage parents. Parent involvement is critical. Go to your principal first. Give them an opportunity to solve it. If it's something that you need to make us aware of, you can go to community information. You can send me an email or you can call my office. Now, sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes in a week I'll have 100 phone calls. So it takes a while, and sometimes I'm a little slow on that. But emails are very quick. If you can do it, get to an email, send me an email. That's the best way to get up with me, but I will also try to return phone calls. We've got halfpenny buttons in the back. And raise your hand for the halfpenny in the back. And if you need a sign, Mr. Bird, if you'll raise your hand. If you'll see him quick before they're all gone, you can get a sign too tonight. Take it with you. But again, it's great to be back at Nims. Desmond and I, we can throw a rock where we spent most of our career. We spent a lot of time here and a lot of time over at Rickards. And it's great to be back home, and it's always great to be here. And thank you for what you're doing for your children, and thank you for your support of our school system. Thank you very much. Thank you.